I just wanted to make money, and I knew I made mistakes, but I always learn from them. And what can I do to overcome them?
2016 to now, so
It's a long game, but nobody want to play it though.
exactly.
Can wake up early and start the
Yeah.
day. Like that's a choice you gotta make. Like
Yeah.
you could stay up and watch the latest series on Netflix.
Yeah.
Or you can go to bed early, get up early, and get after it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Born to Tint podcast. Got an exciting couple episodes coming up down from the Tinter battles.
Hey, everybody. Excited to share this one with you. This episode is with Mike Norng of AFS and Window Film Mastery. Check it out.
All right, so go ahead and just say it. Technically, round two. We had recorded one of these a little earlier in the day. This day 2 of the Tinder battles. We sat down with Mike. We ended up finding out though the audio unfortunately did not take, so we were able to sit down again, thankfully, because we've been wanting to have you on the podcast, and then being in the same place at the same time, and then having the setup.
Yeah.
It worked to our benefit
Yeah.
when it really came down to it. I mean, we'll take it from the point of, in my eyes, the one thing I kind of wanted to go over was the culture of your company and how you grew your company itself.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna sound like we're going over it again, but like
No, we're good.
that
We're good.
was like, to me, that's the kind of stuff when you broke that down to us. Like I was like, all right, I feel like I'm actually going in the right direction. Like
Yeah.
that I am doing something right, and thankfully being able to surround myself with other like-minded individuals, that growth mindset, and then also the mindset of you got to put the time and you got to put the work in, and like the grind is always going to be there. You have to be willing to keep going and keep the process going in through the shitty times.
Yeah.
Because those small incremental improvements is how you're going to improve, change your culture, and then grow your business itself. Because that was the biggest drive for me to sit down and talk with you, because I see how your business has gotten to. I wanted to get a little bit of the backstory of the kind of where you came from,
Yeah.
and what drove you to grow it, and then technically how you did it. Because to me, how it presents itself and how I see it and everyone I talk to about it, nothing but love in the fact that how you operate and how you run your business.
Yeah. So, when when I started doing this, I just wanted to make money, and in the beginning it was like I love, dealing with cars. When I say dealing with cars, from cleaning them all the way to putting film on them. But at the end of the day, you're running a business, and you have to operate a lot differently for the love of how much you love cars and everything else. It turned into a business, and you have to operate a business how it's going to operate. And for a long time, I didn't know how to run a business. I didn't know what I was doing. I just, I knew I made mistakes, but I always learn from them. And what can I do to overcome them? But I used to hire like guys that had a lot of experience, and I just thought like the more years you had experience, the better I am. I'm like lucky to have you and everything else. But I didn't know I was held hostage throughout that whole time, because I would hire somebody with 10, 12, 18 years experience, thinking I could go back and relax and let's do and make more money, schedule in more job. It didn't work that way. Those are the guys that came to the shop and be like, we did this at this other shop, or sometimes they only could work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or sometimes they only could work after 12 o'clock. My whole schedule and how we made money was defined on what they could give me. And, I used to work off of that, because the way I look at it, I'm going to make money, with these guys, because they're able to tint an extra car, because I'm tinting cars already and doing PPF on cars or whatever I'm doing, working on cars. But, I was held for like probably over 10 years, 12 years. I was actually held hostage, and I didn't know it, because my business operated on their schedule. It could never grow. And I was wondering why I'm getting stuck. And, I told this to you guys earlier, but it kind of sucked for me to realize that, I was really in a bad place, because one day I went to the back. My window tinter was smoking something, and whatever it wasn't right. He had a girl next to him, and I just act like I didn't see it. At the end of the day, I went ahead and said, this is your check. I'm kind of done, and I went back to a dark place and started tinting again. That was the time when I just was, I was in a really bad place, and I knew I had to do something about it. And in order for me to do something about it, I had to train the new guys And I didn't know it's gonna take me here, but it's what took me here. From training somebody that cut grass, that bus table, whatever, a hard worker, take them and teach them a skill set because they're only making 300, 350. I'm able to pay them a little bit more just in training period, and they're able to make $1,000, $2,000 a week, which will change their life. If you're changing somebody's life, they're always gonna be good to you. And and they go vice versa. Like I want to be good to them, they want to be good to me, and that's what we build it up. So everybody in AFS, almost everybody is trained from scratch. They could talk about like, man, I used to do this, I used to do this before Mike brought me in. They all own really good cars now,
Don't mean to interrupt, but how long from when you started bringing everything in house? From when did that start? What year was that? 'Cause obviously,
2016.
So from 2016 to now. So
It's a long game, but nobody want to play it though.
exactly.
But guess what? This long game will actually get you somewhere faster because we're doing multiple seven-figure. I don't want to say the number, but it's a lot, and it's really good money, and I did really good things with that money to invest in other stuff. So if it's a slow time, I'm just not relying financially on AFS, but it is a long game. It's gonna take you years to build a team, but I promise you, at the end, it'll all pay off. But this is what the problem with. I mean, this is just what everybody. You don't have to be in the film business. Everybody give up what they really want for what they want now.
Yep.
I could show you shiny stuff, and you could probably sell me your company or whatever you've been working hard for. You might give that up. Don't give that up because it'll all work out. It's just numbers, guys. Like the more you put into it, the harder work you put into it, you'll be rewarded, but it take longer. If you're not willing to get into something, it don't matter, whatever you get into, and you're not willing to put 10 years into it, 5 years without getting like heavily rewarded, you shouldn't do it. I mean, because it's gonna take that long. So if you're not willing to wait for it, then it's not, because that's what everything in life. Like guys that are, just say Tom Brady, like, he went nowhere for a very, very long time, and look at that. I mean, he's very heavily rewarded, but I'm relating back to him because it's like that with everything in life. It's not just football or basketball.
It's kind of funny how all of the top performers, if you look at them and then all of a sudden you find out how they were training, and you're like, oh, it makes sense. Like Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe's up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Workout, recovery, eat, rest, recovery, work out again, rest, recovery.
Yeah.
Go for a third and fourth. So by the time he's on number 3,
Yeah.
you're waking up like you just woke up, you're doing number 1.
Oh, while you're at the club, he's at the gym.
Exactly. Those are hours that you will
Yeah.
never get back. If that person does that for a year straight, they're
Yeah.
light years ahead.
Yeah.
Choosing to go to bed at a good time so
Yeah.
that you can wake up early and start the
Yeah.
day. Like, that's a choice you got to make. Like,
Yeah.
you could stay up and watch the latest series on Netflix.
Yeah.
Or you can go to bed early, get up early, and get after it.
Yeah.
Like, that's, it really is what we talked about earlier, discipline,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're willing to wait later you're just having discipline.
Yeah. I mean, discipline is something that built me. My parents, they taught us how to farm. I had to wake up early in the morning, and I'm a natural early bird. Like, I got this clock that's inside. It wake up like at 5:30 every day. I can't stop it. Even on Sunday when I don't have to go to work, I still wake up early. I'm just always trying to be productive and do something, because the last thing I want to do is wake up early, and what I'm going to do is just sit there and like, I have to do something. Like, and discipline is going to make sure, if you don't feel good, you still go to work. If you're sick, you still go to work. I mean, as a business owner, you have no choice. And you can't make an excuse on why you do this. I just feel like a lot of business owner now, this is what I personally feel. You made a post on Instagram or Facebook, and you're thinking you're supposed to get extra business. It don't work that way. Like, you have to go back old school, like knocking on doors, and not knocking on doors, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you have to like think outside the box of what you're gonna do, because you got to go out there and get the business. You can't rely on digital media. That shit is making everybody lazy, and they make that post. Man, I'm not getting no phone call. I'm not getting this. You're doing the same thing every shop in your town doing. They're also making Instagram posts and Facebook posts. and you're thinking you're making a cool little wheel or a little bit more educated, they're doing the same thing. You got to think a little bit outside if you want to be busy. It's just caught with the time. I mean, if you're thinking about the 80s, I remember 2 or 3 times a week. I don't know if y'all remember this, but a vacuum cleaner person, trying to sell a vacuum cleaner,
Oh,
used to
yeah.
knock on the door.
Yep.
You know, all day, like selling something. You got to think about it. Back then, everybody was doing that. And it's the same thing if you relate it to right now. Everybody's making a Facebook and Instagram post. What you going to do different? Because the guys that's going to do something different are the one that's going to stand out and be somebody.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why we're doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Like another way for anybody to connect and build a relationship with.
Yeah.
I mean, longer formats needed at this point, I believe.
Yeah.
I've been going on sales calls lately where people are like, oh, I seen you on Instagram, and it's a clip from the podcast.
Yeah.
And then I'm even more surprised that they're like, yeah, I've been listening to your podcast.
And they trust you because they
Yeah.
see that. It's
Yeah.
like a funnel.
And this,
you know?
I figured we'd have more people watching from the industry.
Yeah.
Which there's a lot of people here that are like, I've been seeing your podcast. I kind of expected that because I can see who's liking and commenting.
Yeah.
But hearing customers tell
Yeah.
me that they've been listening.
Yeah.
Now they're customers, but
Yeah.
when I went on the sales call, they were just potential leads that
Yeah.
some of them didn't even know they could tint their home until they saw our video,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it was like a clip of us talking about tinting a home with some on a reel, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden, now we're there.
That was definitely probably the biggest driving factor. Like, we do auto too.
Yeah.
We do paint protection. But the big drive was for the push of education of flat glass.
Yeah.
Because from what I see across the board, yes, some people, the content's being put out, but it's not being put out in a long format setting to where you're able to, from that short format, then go, hold on, like, where'd that come from? And then actually hear like explanation of like, all right, so you have a low E window. It's
Yeah.
on this surface. This is what you can put on your windows. Like, I can't tell you how many times, I'm assuming you probably run across the same thing. A customer will tell you, oh, is my warranty gonna be gone on my windows? My glass guy said I shouldn't do this. And it's like, yes, your warranty's gone. Our manufacturer covers it, and then give them the explanation of it and let them know, like, you don't have to fear film. As long
Yeah.
as you are having someone come out, look at what they're doing, and then meter the window, know what kind of glass it is, I can put a film on there that's going to be just fine, and it's not going to do anything to the paint at all. You know, they just don't. They don't understand that. They get feared out by contractors, builders, and glass people.
Yeah.
That they just get scared away from it. And then you have a simple conversation with them, and they're like, oh, I get it. You
Yeah.
know. So that was the biggest drive, was to throw flat glass in front of many people as humanly possible. And that's definitely the part, at least, especially with our business right now, that we're trying to expand, grow, and get even bigger. Because the market's so big.
Yeah.
People just don't know.
I mean, you know, the education level on flat glass is a whole different thing doing auto. Like, you know, when I go to a place and I see, like, somebody that, like, you know, focus on auto and everything at their house in the back of the truck, they say auto tint, and they're at a house. I don't think the auto guys have the education to go tint a house to actually, you know, educate them. And because you got to kind of educate a consumer. You're talking about a bigger project, and you need to know, like, you know, we actually do it. We know there's a hot spot in somebody's house, and we just educate them on it. The auto guys are a little bit harder. I am an auto guy, and you know, I had to take a lot of education. It's not just something, because the last thing you want to do is install a tint on the window that's actually not made for that window. That's not going to help them. I see a lot of auto guys putting 5% on every window that they hit, and I look at it and I know, like you know, that's, you know, because clear film actually costs a lot more than dark film.
Yep.
We all know that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then when you're going into $1 million house, those guys want to keep that glass looking OEM, that window looking OEM, and it's going to take clear film technology, but they're not educated like a clear film would do this. I thought it was only dark. I thought tint was dark. See, that's the education level. Like, no, it's a clear, energy efficient film, but you keep on saying tint. Tint is dark. You know?
Yeah. No, and the really cool thing right now is how many people are getting that clear heat rejection film on their windshields.
Yeah.
So now how you're cross-selling, and
Yeah.
I told you this earlier, I've shared one of your videos. I've shared more than one of your videos.
Yeah.
Multiple
But
videos.
one of you talking about cross-selling, and like, yeah, if You have a car customer that just spent a lot of money getting their car tinted with your highest level heat rejection film,
Yeah.
and you did their windshield in clear. Like, follow up with that customer, and then let them know you've got something like that you can put on their home.
Yeah, I
Like-
mean, you know, you got to build a lot of trust, and that's what we are really good at. The last thing you want to do is get a client in and be like, I got this for you, I got this for you, I got this for you. Now you kind of look like a salesman.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let's just go ahead and sell you your windshield film and all your back glass. And then 2 weeks later, by the way, we also, I mean, you know, call them. You turn down your AC. Was it cooler, Bob? Any question I could have for you? I mean, any question you have for me? No, Mike, you've been doing a good job. By the way, that same film we put on your windshield, that same technology, we could do it at your home. It's clear. We could do it on your home. I know there's a hot spot in your home that's hot during a certain time of day, and he'll actually tell me, like, you know what, Mike, I've been eating breakfast in the living room. I want to eat in the kitchen, but the sunshine is too damn hot in there. Well, let me take a look at it. It's free. Let me look at it and tell you what we recommend for you. And you have to build that trust. It's the same thing as, you know, I was telling you about my sister. She sell all of us insurance. And she didn't just go in there like, I could give you a 401k, I could give you life insurance, I could do a retirement plan, I could do a will. She don't do that. You got to build a relationship first, let them trust you, and make sure, like, you know, we do offer other services. And you're not a pushy salesman. I just hate pushy salesmen. My team are not allowed to do that. What we do, we offer it. So we let you know we offer this service, but we don't go tell you like you need it. We just recommend it. We give you, as long as you can educate somebody, you're gonna sell them. Because you're educating a product. You're not trying to sell them a product. This is what this product do. You highly recommend it. I highly recommend you tint your windshield. It's the biggest glass, the one in front of you, the one that let in the most heat. You're the driver. You're the one that need to be comfortable. If you don't tint that window, you're gonna still be mad at me because all that heat is still coming in there. You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's our exact approach to windshields.
Yeah.
So it sounds identical.
Oh yeah, no, and the big thing, like you said, like you don't sell the customer, solve their problem.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
Yes.
What are you looking at? I mean, if I walk into a consultation for a house, it's what problem are you trying to solve?
Yeah.
Yep.
You trying to get some privacy during the day? Okay, these are the options I got for you. This is what it can do at nighttime. You're nothing you can
You
do.
need
But
blinds.
you need blinds.
Yeah.
And then heat rejection, but you don't want to lose your light. Okay. All right. This is the product I'm going to recommend then, because
Yeah.
this is what's going to this is going to solve your problem. I don't want to give you. I mean, I might present two products, but if you with the right information from the customer,
Yeah.
like I only want to sell you this product because this is what's going to get the job done. Trying to get you to go to this product over here because it might be a little cheaper and it's going to do half what you want. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to solve your problem. I don't want to sell you a half solved problem.
Yeah.
It's-
'Cause, I mean, you know, people are scared to let somebody in their house because they think of it like a car salesman. You know, that's why Tesla and all those guys, Rivian, Lucid Air, are doing a really good job selling cars over the internet, on the web. Like, this is the price. I mean, do you want to add this? Do you want to add that? I mean, you know, that's why the consumer are changing. They're just not buying cars. They don't want somebody at their house. That's why building that relationship of tinting their car, doing a follow-up. They always trust you. Ricky and Josh did a really good job tinting their window when they bought their car, and what they should be able to do the same thing at their house. And you know, you got to build that trust. I made sure our team, we have a procedure that we go through, and we are not allowed to be like pushy car salesmen. And that procedure, that script that we have, all it is education. We're educating you. If you decide to buy it, you buy it. I just hate that. Like, you know, I bought a car a few years ago. It was a Toyota Prius, and I bought it cash. I think it was like 33, maybe 36 out the door with tax, title, and license. And they put me in F&I, which stand for finance and interest. And I said, I'm not buying none. How much is it? Here's the check, man. I got to sell you something. I'm going to do this. You know what? I'll give you a better deal. I'm not going to buy none. Like, I'm either going to give you a check or not. And they still try to keep me there for a long time, and I just felt uncomfortable. But I knew I was going to stand my ground. And I just don't like that when a dealership do that. Like, you could have did it in a different approach instead of trying to force me to do that, or make me look stupid because I didn't buy that. You're gonna get a flat tire down the street because you didn't buy our tire warranty. Your windshield gonna break, and you didn't. That's gonna. How dumb is that? You're gonna put your family in that situation. Like, how a snobby salesperson or F&I would say that. I said, man, you're talking to the wrong person like that. Like now, I don't want to do that, you know. But a lot of people don't come in there with a checkbook to pay off the car. They usually finance it, and then I'll lower your finance rate on your payment on this. If you get this, you get that, and that's how they play the trick. I don't want my service advisor do that. That's the reason why I call them service advisor instead of sales advisor, because they're not a sales. I like to be service. They're here to service you, your need, and everything else.
I like that. So you mentioned using scripts. How important is it for you to be able to scale? Like, to someone who's listening that wants to try to scale their business, having things scripted out and organized.
So, you have to put a lot of. So this is something, guys. If you're watching, you're in this industry. If you're making just say $200,000 a year, there's gonna be process, procedure, people you use like your financial, your accountant, your marketing team that you're gonna grow out of, and you just need to know that. And I understand the loyalty and everything else, but it is what it is. And I give that advice all the time. You're never gonna get to the next, just say from 200 to 500, 600 if you don't grow out those people. Some of those financial CPA, I'm not gonna say CPA because those guys actually make a little bit more money. But I'm just a bookkeeper that's driving, just say Honda Accord that's like 5, 6, 7 years old, living in an apartment. I don't feel like that person, if you're gonna do like almost $1 million, I don't think that person have the skill set to help you. Same thing with marketing. I know a lot of marketing guys that can bring me an extra 10,000 right now. I don't want an extra 10,000. I need an extra 100,000. I just do. I'm at a level where if you're gonna come in, I'm willing to give you like 15, 19, maybe 21,000. Right now I'm at like 19,000 marketing. I'm able to give you that, but this is what I want back. So that's why I say you always have to be prepared for that. But the process, the procedure and the policy that you have to master that. Just say you're at like 300 or 400. You have to master all those process, procedure, and policy. And if you don't have it, you need to have it. Because how would you want to go and make, just say, 30,000, and then you say, I want to make $100,000 a month? You're gonna create. You don't have the infrastructure to support 100,000. You're talking about more phone calls, more everything. You haven't even mastered that yet before you master. If you actually have all the process, procedure, and policy that a $2 million company, that's why you need a mentor or whatever they have, when you start going up, you won't have speed bump, because there's going to be speed bump on the way. Like, we just got hit. We just went backward. We had to give money back to a customer. We just have to do this. You won't have that, because it'll be a smooth sailing over there. Yes, you're going to have some stuff that you need to learn from that specifically because of your demographic or whatever you're in that you're going to hit. But you need to master that, because I'm always interviewing a person, and I did one before where, hey, Mike, I want to open another location. I'll be like, man, let me, how much you making? Oh, you got 6 bay? So I divide that bay by 30 days, or 20 days. He's open 5 days a week. And then I divide that hourly. I was like, dude, you only making like $25 an hour, like average. Like, and you want another location? Like, yeah, you could tell me I'm busy on Saturday, but overall average is what matter. And you're not getting that. Like, you can't go say, I'm gonna, like a restaurant, I'm gonna go put 100 table, and on Saturdays, about 75, 80 table is used, and on the weekdays, only 5 or 10. Like, you have to figure out what you're gonna do on Monday to Thursday, how you gonna pack up that table. Like, that don't make sense. But that is what they're saying, and then I break down numbers, because numbers don't lie, and you have to do it. So if you actually want to break it down, you want to break down the number. If you're not good with number, you have to, I'm not good at a lot of things. I don't want to do it. I'm going to hire somebody to do it, and that's what people need. But if you're busy trying to do everything in the beginning, you do need to do everything, because you need to master everything in your company so you can teach that to whoever you hire, your process, procedure. But that is very important. with a company because you're able to take it yourself. If you got a process, procedure, and policy of a $2 million company and you're only doing like 600,000, I promise you to get to $2 million will be easier because the road is there already. Like, you know, this you're only gonna go one way, and it's not gonna be like a wall in each the steps. Like every 200,000 or 300,000, there might be a wall to stop you. You gotta turn that wall into a glass wall. Cause I look at it like there's not a problem. You know, there's a brick wall in front of you, turn into a glass wall. I promise you, what you see on the other side, you'll break down that wall. Promise. Yeah.
No, dude, that was some great value. What's crazy is I feel like we're always asking questions for us.
Yeah.
And like that, I think is great information for a lot of people out there that are trying to get where we're at, which is funny because we're trying to get where you're at.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, so we're actively still trying to like learn from people like you and all the great people here that we know are doing things better than we can do. And
But
like,
just say when you do reach where I'm at, trust me, you'll never stop. You'll keep on reaching. It'll just keep on going. I'm enjoying myself. I am so lucky I have a team that I could disappear for a while. I mean, we're all at Tint battle, and my phone don't ring about the company or anything else, like what's going on, because of all the system that we put in place. Because that system, if you put a really successful system, it just works.
yeah. 4 years ago, we could not both be here right now like this, and then still go. Like, we're gonna be able to go to multiple things this year, and we could not do it without.
I mean,
our
but
team.
you know, when you look back, you're always supposed to do better. So you gotta be grateful for it. You know, everything come gradually. Like you're probably a year in, you'd be like, man, I'm still doing the same thing. Look back a year, and then think about it. Did you do something better? Did you grow your team? Did you gross a little bit more money, or did you add another service? Look back at that, because you gotta be grateful, because everything come, and then when you look at it, you're like thinking you're like doing nothing, but a lot have been accomplished, because we always get somewhere. Because if you're trying to grow and you're trying to do stuff and you implement stuff, it's gonna work, but everything gotta be implemented real slowly. You're never gonna be able to implement something like, we're gonna do this real quick. The big stuff take time. It does.
Oh no, absolutely. That's the one thing I've been trying to hammer home for like the past like year or so, is after when my dad stepped away from the business in 2020, he had a stroke, and medical reason, he pretty much cut and dry out of the company right then. From that point on, we started changing. We were already in the midst of changing the culture and trying to, we had people leave, but we used it as a nice reset when it came down to it, to start growing our own team and start trying to implement those processes and slowly chunk out processes as we go. And like, we come across the problem, all right, let's solve it. How do we want to handle it? All right, let's handle it this way. All right, this is the new standard, and go from there. Getting that done and in has definitely, like, I look back now and it does feel like, God, have we even gotten anything done? But if I actually look back in increments of like 2 years ago, 2 years before that, and keep going, like just the history of our company, it's like, wow, our company has changed so dramatically, but it still feels like, because we are just doing the slow grind, like it's, God, are we getting anywhere? And then I look back and be like, okay, yeah, we are. It's just this, it's got to keep hammering, keep going after it, keep trying to improve just that little bit every single day.
Yeah. I mean, I do a lot of self-improvement, and I believe a lot in thoughts, because, everything you go back to your prepping, your basics. Mm-hmm. Like, to be good at PPF, you better prep the car really good. The same thing with window tint. Yep. So the same thing is start with thoughts. And I always tell people, because I speak to guys all the time, I was like, when I talk to you guys, your thoughts are really good. Like, I'm going to do this. When I go back to the company, I'm going to do this. I'm going to talk to my sales team. I'm going to go ahead and put this process and everything else. So the thoughts is going into that jar of, how you're going to grow your business and change. But then when you get back home, those thoughts go into this jar with, I'm gonna go hang out with my homeboys tonight. I'm gonna go drink tonight. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and let the guys do this. I'll talk to them another day. And the thoughts go away. The fucking plan fade away. And when it fade away, there's no more thoughts into that. So that's why the thoughts is so powerful. I mean, that's why I don't get mad no more. But think about when you get mad, your thought of, I'm going to punch that dude in the face. I'm going to cuss him out. I'm going to put it in his car. Your thoughts are like that. It's the same thing if you're going on a date and you're meeting a girl for the first time. Oh, man, I'm going to wear this clothes. I can't wear this pants. Oh, you know what? This clothes, this shirt don't go with that jean. Those are your thoughts. So think about it, because your thoughts it's your physical. What you do physically is a mirror of your thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, like it's so true. So it's gonna come true. But you got to put enough thoughts in it that it build up like what you're gonna do, physically. You know.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Man.
Yeah.
I know. I would almost pretty much I would equate that to the same thing. Like when it comes down to like when I finally stopped looking at local competitors as
Yeah.
competitors,
Yeah.
and just focused on my business.
Yeah.
I same thing. Why get pissed off? Why get angry? Or any of that for the sole fact that now you're just wasting your time on
You
that
can't
thought.
control them. You only
Yeah.
control what you could do.
Exactly.
Focus on what you
Exactly.
can control is
Yeah.
some wise words.
I mean, instead of worrying about them and having thoughts that go toward that don't do nothing, because there's no other plan. Like that plan, there's nothing good coming from that plan. All you're gonna be like, when a customer call, oh man, that dude, oh he sucked. Like there's nothing good because a person that's really good, that like, what the hell are you talking about? That dude sucked. Like I don't want to use him either. But if your thoughts are, you know what, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go ahead and handle this neighborhood. In that neighborhood, I'm gonna go ahead and educate them. How am I educate them? I'm trying to educate the HOA or that talk to that neighborhood. You know, something that you're gonna, become positive. Or I mean, just anything. And then you don't want to put thoughts on that. And it's hard, guys. Like I train my brain like really good. Like Mike, you're having bad thoughts. Like change the thought. Let's change the thought. Let's change it because you gotta change. You gotta change it like to something. You know what? I'm gonna go eat this tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and take my girlfriend out here. I'm gonna take the kids to go play. Like, change your thoughts, and that's the hard part. And with me even saying that is hard, because if you could teach me a way 100% not to have negative thoughts, man, I got a big checkbook for you.
100-mile ultra marathons.
Yeah.
It is a mental battle the entire time.
Yeah.
Now that I think back and look at it, when I got into ultra running and started doing those long distance runs,
Yeah.
it's helped me get through those mental challenges so much better, because
It does.
when you're running in the middle of the night, you're 60 miles into a race, and all of a sudden you're like, why am I doing this? I just want to quit. And then you're in your head, like the next 40 miles is just, it's physical. You still have to physically pull it off, but you're fighting yourself in your head the entire time. Like you have amazing highs, you're like, I'm crushing this. This is going great.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes later, you're like, next aid station, I'm done. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Like I'm done with this. And it's a nonstop fight.
Yeah.
To build that mental resilience.
And those guys that finish it, their thoughts are into like, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna, I can't wait to brag about it. I can't wait to post about it. I can't wait. Like everything is positive. Yep. Those guys that do win it.
Oh yeah.
They never say you bet you'd never see them like I was gonna give up. Like they'll tell you like it was a long run. It was challenging. Like just positive stuff like from guys like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait, your next one's in June?
July.
Yeah. I'm gonna do them by the end of the year. I keep telling everybody that. I attempted last year. I only made it 67. The mental
miles.
thoughts got me.
Yeah.
Like, I felt great up
Yeah.
to like 60, and then leaving that last aid station.
Yeah.
There was nothing I could do to be like, I just want this to be over. It was
And,
bad, but it's like it's a good practice in resilience. But it also was like I went 67 miles.
Yeah.
Like, that was also like it felt like an accomplishment. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't finish because I wouldn't have finished that loop in time.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to start the next loop anyways.
But think about all the practice that it took you to get
Oh,
there.
yeah, yeah. That's the other thing.
People think you're just gonna. I could go out right now and run 3 miles, but if you asked me to run 8, I was like, man, you know what? I know how life is, and I know what I've been through. You know what? Let me run 3. Tomorrow I'll run 3.5. Tomorrow I'll run 4.
That's exactly
Tomorrow,
how you
and I'm
do
gonna
it.
build myself up, and then I'm gonna run like maybe 8 for like a week, and not have any issue or fix whatever issue I have.
Yep.
There's gonna be issues. Like the shoe might fall off, or that shoe is not good for you because it hurt your foot. So you might have to buy another shoe. It all go back to that.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you run it. But everybody wanna run that 8 miles when they could run only 3.
Yep. That's the only way to build it up too.
Yeah.
Like I've taken a couple breaks in my life from running a lot to
Yeah.
not running very much. And every time I get back into it, I have to tell myself, all right, you can't do what you could do 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm going for 1 mile runs for
Yeah.
a week or two, and then you have to takes months. You can't.
Yeah.
If you increase how much you're running more than 10% from week to week,
Yeah.
you're gonna get injured.
Yeah.
So like then even that, like it's gonna take 9 months of continuous training and slowly
Yeah.
creeping it up to have a chance at finishing an ultra. So it's like it'd be nice if you could get ready in a month, but no, it's gonna take 9 months to a year. How long is your training block right now?
I'm in a 24-week. I'm in the middle of it right now. This is week 12.
Yeah.
So it's that
And that's on top of the years that you've been doing.
Yeah. So and that itself, that relates back to even like with business too. There is no quick little gimmick.
Same thing.
I'm done. I can
There's
do it. No,
there's
you got to
no-
slowly and steadily put the time in. Like I'm spending 24 weeks to go do a 1-day race. And then like, I mean, that even though helps me, it mentally motivates me when I'm on race day, because it's like, dude, you just devoted 24 weeks to train for this 1 day, and you're gonna all of a sudden quit and stop? Like, no. The only
But
way
you
you get
know-
me off this course is drag me off of it because I can't walk anymore.
That's funny because in 2021, all of a sudden everybody want to jump into the window and the film business, and they all open shop. One thing I see about that was, I always say you can't skip step, but you can speed up the step. And what I mean by speed up the step is you have to go to step 1, 2, 3. Everybody want to go to step 1, 2, and then skip and go to 8. When I say speed up the step, I mean, by waking up early, staying up late, practice your craft, whatever. But everybody came into the market in 2021, and they went ahead and skipped all the steps. What they did was hire guys with experience, threw their money on the table because the industry was paying it off. I mean, we was one of the most profitable industry in COVID because people, was fixing their car because they had nothing to do, cutting their grass, buying bikes,
We were essential.
Yeah, but I saw it like they came in, they did heavily marketing and everything else, and then all of a sudden, like right now, man, I'm slow, I'm dead. I got no cars in there, and I said, you skipped a step. You didn't build the foundation. You didn't build a relationship. You didn't shake enough hand. You didn't go out and do anything. All you did was made a post on Instagram, and you did this, and you could do that. And at that time, the government and everybody was just spending money, giving money away. They're going to spend money. You're going to get money. People was doing nothing. If they had cars, they're going to fix it up. And you're getting that automatically. And then all of a sudden now, you're saying you're not busy because you didn't do anything that I did. Like, I was knocking on doors. I was going to oil change place. I was going to like different, I go to dermatologist office to educate them about window film, because in Houston, Texas, we're the Cancer Foundation. So we had a dermatologist that came to my place and she like talking to me about tint. I got lucky that I was there, but sometimes I feel like the harder I work, the luckier I get. But I educated, and I said, you know what, UV 3%, 44% from light, infrared heat, that's the heat that you feel, 53% come from it. And I was just educating her. She said, you know what, I'm a dermatologist. I'm in charge of 6. We do cancer stuff, like research. I went to talk to them about the infrared film, and she had to do it because some of her clients, they had to cover themselves up because they could feel that heat and it'll burn their skin. And I don't know too much about it, but she was telling me about it, like, people from all over the world. And right now, they got 6 offices. They refer, and they actually make the phone call to me and be like, you know what, I'm going to have Georgine come to you. I'm going to have Sarah come to you. She's going to come to this week. They're going to need that infrared film because I educated on them. I didn't try to educate them on ceramic film because I was like, you know what, infrared film. Because ceramic film might not be ceramic. It's just a terminology that's loosely used in our industry. We all know that. So I say infrared rejection film is what you need. And those offers, man, she don't want no money. She just want to help her client. And that's what she does because she got to find a solution for them. You could give them medicine, but your solution, if you're in your house or in your car for somebody that have skin cancer, is window film, period. Like infrared film, you need to protect yourself from the infrared heat that's burning your skin. Every film block you from UV. We all know that.
Yeah.
It don't matter if it costs $1,000 or $100. It's the adhesive that's in the film that's blocking you from UV, but that only account for 3% of your heat. You actually want to block out infrared because if you got skin cancer, that's what make it really sensible. And we did that hard work of educating that dermatologist and everything, and the relationship that we built over the years. There was no way that you just come in 2021, skip all these steps, and then right now you're like, I'm slow. You didn't build a foundation. You skipped steps, and you can't do that. That's what anything. It's gonna come back and haunt you anyway. Like if you cheated in football or cheated on your test, it come back to you because all of a sudden now you don't know this shit because you're supposed to know this in order to know this, but you cheated on that test. You didn't want to learn that part, and then all of a sudden this come out, and we're like, man, I don't know that,
Yeah, it's that short-term versus long-term mindset.
Yeah.
I can get a job in the door. Cool, I got one customer. But how do you build a relationship with that person where you guarantee that they're going to be a repeat customer? They're going to refer their friends. Right now, I look at TintWiz and look at our stats, and over half of our work is either repeat business or a referral.
Yeah.
So like all those extra little steps you're talking about are building the experience for the customer where they feel like they're being taken care of. You're doing the cross-selling. You're taking advantage of, I've already got this person. I've done work for them. They're happy with it. What else can I provide for them? Can I help them out in their home? And if you do all of those little things, you got people that go out of their way to go sell for you.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Oh, it's building those relationships, especially like you say in flat glass. When it comes to like commercial jobs, that's relationship building.
Yeah.
That's finding general contractors. That's finding the glazers. That's finding the landscapers for like turf. When it comes down to it, like right now, that's a huge problem that at least in our area that we're having is turf's melting. The sun's reflecting off the glass and turf's melting. So we have a couple different options we provide to them and educate them. They pick and they go from there. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of, it blows my mind how much turf protection we're doing right now. They're installing so much of it in Vegas. Everybody's getting mandated to take out their yards.
We'll go through that right now too, and I don't give no warranty, and I'm having a hard time because everything I'm doing work, but it don't really work to justify the payment. Like, so I'm still looking for products too, and used it, and then we kind of got out of it. But I know in Vegas, like grass don't grow, so you're gonna have like a lot of that, and you gotta know how to protect it because the reflection from the building is burning the turf. If you guys don't know. And you might be able to fix that because of that house, but then what about the building next door? Like,
we've had to do and houses for people's yards where like they pay to have their neighbors' windows done to protect their yard.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
And I've seen it,
Oh yeah, no, it's beyond the fact of the growing. They're literally mandating.
Yeah.
Like they got rid of, you can't, any new house in Vegas right now, you cannot put grass in the front yard. That's guaranteed.
And they're paying $5 a square foot to replace it.
Well, and also besides the front yard, it used to be in 2018. That's what I bought my house in 2018. So nothing up front, but I could have 75% in my backyard. Just recently, I was talking to a customer of ours, and he was like, "Yeah, no grass." He goes, "After we moved in, they're like, oh yeah, no, you can't put grass in anywhere. It has to be turf everywhere in the back, everywhere in the front." And now they've completely forced that in Vegas. I mean, we were in a drought, or actually still technically in a drought. Lake Mead's low, so I get it. Yeah. And thankfully, landscapers are starting to buy into the fact of like, all right, I'm going to let my customer know beforehand, not do their entire job and go, oh, hey, you see that window over there? It's going to melt the $20,000 you just spent on your grass. You should do something about it. It's like,
but I'm gonna talk to you when I get some turf job. I'm gonna actually contact you guys. I'm not the specialist, so I don't know like what product will work because you guys are in Vegas and y'all do it all the time. So y'all know specifically what product work. Y'all already did the R&D. There's going to be some new guys that come in. Yeah, I can put some film on there, get some money real quick. Out the back of his truck. You'll never hear from him again. I don't want to be that person, so I'm going to contact you, and then that's the bad thing about it.
So it has been a costly experience. We've gone through a couple different products. One of them started failing pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Luckily, we cut it off quick. We had to go back and service all those customers and switch it out for another product, which cost us time and money, but we did it for our customers.
Yeah, I mean, we're at your house 6 months prior and the product fails. Like, I'm just going to come out and replace it. Like, unfortunately, like that option's no longer available. You now have to use this option, and it's not going to know, well, how much? I mean, nothing.
But you know what defines a business? It's not because you do good work. It's what happened when you have a problem.
Yep.
Do that company, that person, will they move a mountain to solve a warranty? That's something that we done for a long time. That's why we're still here, and you guys are taking, you guys been in for a long time, but that's what defines us. It's not like, oh, you know what, we did your work, we did it for a really low price, and we did this, and then all of a sudden you have a problem, be like, nah, you're not getting your money back. There's nothing I can do. I already did the work. But that's what defines a company. Like, when the problem happened, what are they gonna do about it? Do they do something about it, or are they gonna go ahead and move a mountain on it? And I believe like you guys will, and that's what set us apart from everything. From the new guys or guys that have been in the industry for a while. Like they just here to. Some of them are just here to do the work and take your money. They did it so damn cheap that they can't come back out because it'll just cost them money. And that's the reason why price, because we look at it, we be like, if I had to redo that fender again on that car, or I have to do that window again, I'm happy to do it because I charge the proper amount that I'm happy. Like, my guys are happy too because they got paid really good. But if you pay so little and you have to redo something, you don't want to redo it. Yep. It's just a headache. You make no money on it. Like, screw that. I don't want to deal with that customer. And then you start saying, like, that customer is cheap, that customer is this. You start building stuff, negative thoughts in your head again, negative thoughts. And negative thoughts go into that negative plan, and that plan is not to ever do anything for you or not pick up the phone for you. And that's why it's very important that you pick the proper. You should just deal with people that you trust, period. A company you trust, people you trust, whoever walk into your house, you feel like that person is in my best interest to, not do anything, negative to me.
Oh, no, absolutely. That's probably the biggest and probably the best lesson my dad passed along to both of us.
Yeah.
Customer service, word of mouth. That'll keep you in business.
Yeah.
Like, if a window breaks, every shop, depending on what size, if you do in houses, you're going to have some windows snap on you. Depending on what film you put on, what manufacturer's going to cover so much of it. I go out, I cover the whole window.
Yeah.
If it exceeds that limit, I don't care. I'm just going to cover the window.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a project where I can see how big the windows are and it's set in standards with the customer itself, or changing the warranty within manufacturer, upgrading the warranty, wherever that may be, that's understandable. A typical residential home, if something breaks, I just take care of it.
Yeah.
Like, what I'll get in return from that customer is going to pay for it tenfold. Like, I had a PPF on a black truck. We did it for the guy. We lost his trust, unfortunately. While we were installing, my guy doesn't know how it happened. He ended up scratching a piece of his paint in the front, like either when we were working over the hood or doing something.
Yeah.
Customer comes to pick it up. I go to tell him about it. I say, hey, I've already called my body shop. He's going to get you taken care of. He was already going over there to get something else fixed on his truck. And I could tell he was kind of deflated. Came back the next day, and he's like, man, to be honest, it's nothing with you guys, but it's just, I just want you to, I'm just going to take it somewhere else. I'm just going to pop it off. I went and talked to a couple other shops, which we lost his trust.
Yeah.
That's completely on us. So I was like, I can take it off for you. And he was like, oh, how much? I'm like, let me take it off for you. And then I was like, and then also, I'm going to refund your money. He's like, no, you worked. I'm like, no, we didn't get our job done. We did not do what we were supposed to do. I'm not taking a dime from you. There's no chance in hell I'm taking a dime for you. We're gonna eat it, is what it is, learning lesson.
Yeah.
We're gonna grow from this, we'll move forward, and there's no chance. I refunded his money, I took all the paint protection off. He scheduled his wife's car to get Tint.
Yeah.
So
I have the same thing.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, that stung, it hurt, is what it is, but at the same time, he was more blown away by the fact that, like, I was like, what's gonna make me happy is refunding your money and let me take this off for you real quick.
Yeah.
And then if you need anything else from me, you let me know, I'll get you taken care of.
That's old school customer service.
It's what you have to do. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not doing it, that's the little stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
That sets you apart.
Yep.
The world is moving so fast with technology and stuff like that. It's just like, I hear it all the time with another company. They did this, they wouldn't do this, they come back. And when they come to me, I'm like, why don't you do this? Why don't you go back to that shop and ask them would they redo this? Because there's a mistake. I mean, you gotta be nice about it. Like, don't be mean to them. Be nice. Let's just do that, because that's your cheapest way for them to remove it and redo it. Instead of coming to me and let me do it, the last thing I want to do is do this, and then you're gonna be spending more money, and you're gonna still be kind of like unsatisfied. And it's not because of me. It's just the whole situation, and just make you unhappy. So why don't you do that? Because the last thing I want to do is badmouth a shop because they did this and that. I want to make sure they can correct it. Because I go through the same thing, like just what you say. Yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely.
I think I might have to compete.
Oh. Well, actually, it's right about right now, the time anyway, that we're gonna have to wrap this up.
Dude.
I'm happy. I'm happy I got to steal 2 hours with you to talk.
Yeah,
Sucks that-
no. Yeah, it worked out great.
Yeah,
for us.
it worked out great for us.
We
Sucks
really
that we
appreciate
lost
it.
the first hour, but is what it is. Thankfully, we were able to sit down again. We appreciate you sitting down with us
Yeah,
again.
thank you.
I look forward to continually, hopefully, growing this relationship and learning as much as possible from
Yeah.
you. Like I said beforehand, I definitely want to set up, come out. I mean, I have got the one thing I want to do. I've been thinking something I want to do is reach out to people. Certain people I know the networking that we have been doing is I want to come out and I'll install. I'll work for you the whole day.
Yeah.
I just want to watch your operations. Literally plug me in, let me know what you want me to stick,
Yeah.
and I just want to see things run. That's where my curiosity lies. So
Yeah.
I look forward to doing that.
No, definitely you invited. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we're definitely
Yeah.
gonna make that happen.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna make that happen.
And if
I mean, and you don't have to install. I mean, we're here to, always help everybody in this industry. We are. I mean, that's what Autofilm Mastery do, and that's what Mike Norng do, and that's we're here to help you grow. I mean, anybody in this industry.
That's what drew me in to begin with, was seeing Autofilm Mastery drop when it did in Orlando. That's what got me instantly. I started following you, started watching all your content, and I was like, yes, this guy gets it. This guy, this is what I want to get to. This is what I'm trying to emulate. This is the next thing this is my next step.
Yeah.
So
we really appreciate it, Mike. Where can they find you?
Instagram. I'm always on Instagram at Mike Norng. Last name is Norng. So Instagram at Mike Norng, guys.
All right, everybody. We appreciate you guys tuning in. You know what to do. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Leave a comment, share. We appreciate all the love. And until next time, guys, have a good one.